This is VOA News. Reporting via remote, I'm Jeff Custer. U.S. officials say Russia has freed U.S. basketball star Brittany Griner in a high-level prisoner exchange that will see the U.S. releasing notorious Russian arms dealer Victor Bout. AP correspondent Sagar Magani has details.
It's the second prisoner swap with Russia in 8 months, and this one carried a heavy price involving the Russian arms dealer once known as the Merchant of Death, Victor Bout. The one-on-one swap is a surprise because U.S. officials said for months they wanted to bring home not just Griner, but also Paul Whelan, who has spent 4 years jailed in Russia on spying charges.
That's AP correspondent Sagar Magani reporting. Griner, the two-time Olympic gold medalist, was arrested February 17th at a Moscow airport with vape cartridges containing cannabis oil, which is banned in Russia. She was sentenced August 4th to 9 years in a penal colony on charges of possessing and smuggling drugs. The deal apparently leaves behind another U.S. detainee, Michigan corporate security executive Paul Whelan, jailed in Russia since December of 2018 on espionage charges that his family and the U.S. government has said are baseless. Russian forces are pressing forward with air and ground attacks on several settlements in eastern Ukraine Thursday. Officials say as a day after Russian President Vladimir Putin celebrated seizing territory during the 9-month war. Near the city of Lysychansk, Russia deployed more troops to try to capture the village of Bikolorifa, Ukraine's governor of the region said, while a commander in another heavily fought over settlement described an intensifying Russian air offensive. This is VOA News. Australia has reacted with dismay at the early release of the main bomb maker in the 2002 Bali bombings. A total of 202 people died in the terrorist attack, including dozens of Australians. Umar Patek, a member of the al-Qaeda-linked Jamia Islamiyah militant group, was jailed for 20 years in 2012 for his part in the attack. From Sydney, Phil Mercer reports for VOA.
88 Australians were killed when extremists attacked 2 nightclubs in the Kuta district of Bali, Indonesia in October 2002. It was the largest loss of Australian lives due to an act of terrorism. Umar Patek helped to build the car bomb that tore through the Sari Club. He spent 9 years on the run before being jailed for 20 years in 2012. Indonesian authorities have said he's been released early from prison because of good behavior. They believe he's reformed after participating in de-radicalization activities during his sentence. Energy Minister Chris Bowen told the Australian Broadcasting Corporation Thursday that Canberra now wants the Bali bomb maker to be put under careful surveillance. Phil Mercer for VOA News.
Iran said Thursday it executed a prisoner convicted for a crime allegedly committed during the country's ongoing nationwide protests, the first such death penalty carried out by Tehran. The execution comes as other detainees also face the possibility of the death penalty for their involvement in the demonstrations. Demonstrations, which began in mid-September, first as an outcry against Iran's morality police, then expanding as a more broadly anti-government protests. The expanding unrest has evolved into one of the most serious challenges to Iran's theocracy since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Activists warn that others also could be put to death in the near future, saying that at least a dozen people so far have received death sentences over their involvement in the demonstrations. Portugal's National Civil Protection Agency said Thursday heavy overnight rains flooded the capital, Lisbon, and killed a 55-year-old woman who was trapped by water in the basement where she lives. The intense rainfall and winds washed away cars and flooded streets, buildings, and public transport stations, blocking some metro lines. Authorities shut roads around the capital and city tunnels. Portuguese weather service IPMA placed Lisbon, as well as the neighboring district of Santarém and the southern Algarve region, on red weather warning due to intense rainfall and strong winds, which are expected to continue through Friday.
This is VOA News.
Hi, thank you for watching. I hope the videos are useful for you. Please subscribe to my channel using the button below.